slave master bloodline died out. So my family in Jacksonville actually got their 40 acres and a mule. She went on tour with Obama. So when Obama went on his Florida tour, speaking tour, they went and picked her up and she went on the road with them. Like,
yo, that's history.
Yeah, Oprah calls her. She knew how to manipulate me in the most loving way to win.
Right.
And I knew how to do the same to her. Like, manipulate her, go, oh, all right, motherfucker. I get what you're saying. My dad's selling drugs. My mom's a user. My dad get caught up. My dad get deported. Mom left me with crackheads. My mom just got out of jail, but she got a girlfriend now, and she choosing her girlfriend over our family. She not understanding at the age of 11, they pick up me, my cousin, and my other cousin. I'm 11, my cousin 14, my other cousin 7, for a murder case. They don't see you as kids. One of y'all got to pee on yourself.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the B&E podcast, the beginning of the never ending. I'm really excited about today's guest. I've known him from a long time, from far away, a little bit up close. He didn't know I was there, but I'm really excited to kind of jump in. We are on what's called the beginning never ending. If you haven't heard of us, or you're just the first time you're hopping in, the main goal is to hear the archive and stories of people's lives. And I'm really excited to jump into NOA JAMES. Today, the main focus is to just jump in the story, my man. I'm really curious about your origin story, about your life, and like essentially like, you know, how you became you. You're such a interesting culture, especially in the Inland Empire. One of the OGs and archives of like just being able to just not just hip hop culture in the sense, but like really just creating a scene for a lot of the underground rappers out here and people just bringing them above scene. So I'm really excited to jump into it, and thank you for being on.
Nah, blessings, man. Much gratitude, man.
Yeah.
You said like origin story. I like, yeah, man. I like that.
Let's get it then. So first, I'll always like to start off with the roots. You know, what's nationality, ancestry? Like, where does it all start?
Man, I'm Haitian, Native American, Black American. People say Creole, but to me, Creole is a Haitian language, right? So it just, you know, when they speak in, you know, like broken down French too, like in Louisiana, Sweetport, Louisiana. So my family is along that era. Then I have family in Jacksonville, and they were slaves, and they end up owning the land they was owned on because the slave master bloodline died out. So my family in Jacksonville actually got their 40 acres and a mule.
What?
Because the family died out. The bloodline that owned my family died.
So they almost
inherited.
Yeah.
You know, and it was like a couple of tobacco fields. Like that's like the deep I know. Like my great grandmother Blanche Cobb, she died at 115. What was it, Lisa? 15. Second black woman to vote. Like she got the paper where she signed her name. She was the second black woman to vote ever. She had her own holiday in Jacksonville. Wow. She went on tour with Obama. So when Obama went on his Florida tour, speaking tour, they went and picked her up and she went on the road with them. Like,
yo, that's history.
Yeah, Oprah calls her. Like, she had I used to say, Granny, I need your PR. Like, great grandma, I need your PR, man. And
so it's really cool. And that's on your mother's grandmother.
Yeah, that's my grandfather's mother. So I have, I break this down. I'm a group home kid, grew up in Southside Jamaica, Queens. I had my grandmother and my grandfather, Breezo Allen and Willie Dale Allen. I have my grandmother, Willie Dale Allen, and Breezo Allen. That's the family that was living in Pasadena. Then I have my mother's father, Gustine Cobb. He was living in Los Angeles, in Jacksonville. That's like the dynamic of my elders that I knew of. My grandfather, Gustine Cobb, my mama's father, his mama is Blanche Cobb. And that's the matriarch of my family in Jacksonville, where there were like 17 kids. Like businesses. They pretty much ran Jacksonville, Florida. Preachers, comedians. This is like where I used to be like, man, where I get all my artistry from is from this side of the family in the South. So this is my family's South. So when I would be in these group homes or detention centers or group centers where, they didn't have a place for me, and my grandmother in Pasadena would, she had her other grandkids, but it was already 8 grandkids in the house. So she couldn't get the rest of her grandkids. And that's me, my little brother, another cousin. It's like another 7 of us that's in the system. But they won't let Granny get us because too many kids in the house. So her house in Pasadena became like the revolving door. Like when one kid get 18, another kid come in. When another kid turn 18, they may take in me and my little brother. So my little brother, I'm in and out from Queens, Jacksonville, and Pasadena for probably the first 17, 18 years of my life.
So can you describe, you mentioned a big part of your life is with your grandmother.
Yeah.
What's the type of personality that she had?
Man, tough and sweet, scary and peaceful. Like, I never want to disappoint her. That's one thing. I never want to disappoint her. Even when I got caught with drugs at Cajon High School, right? I got caught with a lot of shit. And I got caught with a knife, and I got caught with a gun. And they took me to juvie, and my grandmother comes to visit me in juvie, and she said, listen, put no yoke on my face. Meaning, tell me everything. So when I'm defending you, I know everything, and I know how to defend you. You know what I mean? So she already know me. Get up. I put my protection. I my Granny praying for me, but I got my little weapons on me. My granny have Derringers at the time. She had a Derringer is 1 shot, 2 shot, 3 shot, and a 4-shot Derringer, and I would take the 2-shot Derringer. Tucked in my Timbs, and I had a 3-inch blade that didn't go over the 4-inch rule. So if you go 4-inch rule, you might get a felony. So I had a little 3-inch blade, little kidney toucher, So I was just ready, like just in case, you know what I mean. I'm new.
This is Queens, so I mean.
This is San Bernardino.
Oh, you're in Adino.
I'm in Adino now.
Okay.
So like in between, this is me older in my teens now. I'm in Adino.
Oh, okay.
I'm 11th grade. I'm far from my additional origin story. So this is like me going forward. Like this is she been telling me don't put yoke on my face. I never put in a situation where I really had to tell her every single thing to make sure I get out. So I remember that like, damn, this is a moment where I bet not lie to my granny. I need her to tell her everything, even when I'm like little things that don't matter, like, oh yeah, granny, and I had did this and I did this and I did this, so she can figure out when she talked to the lawyer or talk to the principal where I'm a good kid, I'm a sweetheart. It just I made moves, man, and sometimes I didn't think about the moves. I always think about money or paying rent or making money for my grandmother, so I didn't really think about the consequences of certain things. I just did it because I know it's gonna make me some type of money, and they take some type of stress off my grandmother.
So can we rewind just a little bit?
Yeah.
I'm curious on you went into you have a huge like bloodline here, right?
Yeah.
I'm curious about seems like grandmother's a big part. So I want to kind of sit here for a second. Can you do you remember her story of like how she came to?
Born in Little Rock, Arkansas.
Okay.
Her dad, John Henry. Her mama, Jessie Lee. Jessie Lee is 75% Native American from some clan in Little Rock in that area. Her father, Henry, his family was slaves, and he inherited the land. So her family was sharecroppers. So my granddad was a sharecropper in Little Rock. They had a land, they had farm. I think they had like 8 kids, like 4 brothers, 4 men, 3 women. Her sister, Auntie Eileen, Auntie Iris. My grandma she used to tell me I would develop. So, at 12, 13, she looking grown. And from there, her dad taught her how to shoot guns, how to clean chickens, how to hunt, how to start cars, like taught her everything. And her mama taught her to make money. So at the time, like my granny, like, who was running all the jazz cigarettes? That's like marijuana. They're called jazz cigarettes. And moonshine, it was all the women. So around between 14 and 15, my grandmother is running weed, running moonshine to clubs.
Oh, this is like, we're talking about the 20s here?
Now we're talking about like,
oh, no, we're talking about, okay.
like 40s, 50s.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So this is around like 54.
Okay,
Granny born in like 39 or 30.
So it's past Prohibition.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Yeah, so this is around time they still moving.
Got it.
It's like, even though some civil rights is coming, they're in Little Rock, Arkansas.
No, this is a whole different universe.
They don't know nothing what's going on.
Sure.
They really barely know what's going on with no Dr. King or no movement. They just sharecroppers. The only thing they really know is that Motown is coming to Little Rock, Arkansas, and they turned their farmland into a parking lot.
They took it from them? They just
that's what my family did. So like that's the only thing my grandma knew. Like she said, we knew music. We knew that Motown is coming. We know this band is coming because we're gonna make money when they get here. We're gonna sell food. And we're gonna make sure they can stay on our land and they can park on our land. You know what I mean? So that's my granny upbringing, farming, moving through a very crazy, intense, racist, vicious time. She being a black woman that grows to be 6 foot. You know what I mean? She was a madam of a house, a madam of a whorehouse. Yep. Shout out to Granny.
Shout out to yo.
Yeah, man. My granny, that was my best friend. So that's how you stopped me, because I know a lot about her. Like her mannerisms. She owned a nail salon, but my granny couldn't read. But she knew how to do math really, really well. She had a Korean homegirl that knew how to read. And the homegirl couldn't get certain things. So my granny and this Korean woman did a nail salon. And this is where my granny moves from Little Rock to Palm Lane Watts.
Oof.
So my grandma moved to Watts.
That's a long way.
You know what I mean? Yeah. But she wanted to build a business. So she built a nail salon. She sold nightgowns. You know what I mean? I think my grandma loved luxury, and she was down to work for it. You know what I mean? Like really, really work for it. Like, you know that scene when Tina Turner is in, she's performing, and Ike comes backstage with the gun. My granny was at that show when that happened. So it's like my granny at Luther Vandross cruises, like she's a Renaissance woman.
Yo,
you know what I mean?
Like
for real. And I think it was God's purpose to make sure that my mama is not in my life to absorb this, because her sons didn't get it, her kids didn't get it, but her grandkids is here. And me and a couple of my cousins was the most attentive to her. Like, oh, she big dog. Oh, Granny cool. Granny know everybody. Grandpa know everybody. So it's like, knowing all of these things about my granny, of course I'm infatuated with her. It's her, Michael Jackson, that I think is the coolest person in the world at a point in time in my life. Like, her and Goku. Like, that's like, for real, like, this is a woman who beat cancer 3 times. They took a tumor off her spine. Like, she's like, is like
built different.
Yeah, very built, whole different. She's such a sweetheart. People thought she was a mean woman, but she wanted better for you. And of course she has trauma that we would not even comprehend, because it existed before we even thought of.
Right.
I know nothing about sharecropping.
Yeah.
I don't know what went day to day, 24 hours. I don't know how men talk to a 14-year-old black woman that's a double D already, that got to go to get a brassiere before she's the age of 12. I don't know none of that. So only thing I can do is love on her and give her grace. and be that grandson. Like, I messed her energy all the time. I should tell her I'm the better I told her I'm the 5.0 version of her. And then she was like, what you mean? I said, I'm not saying I'm a better person. It's just all the knowledge you gave me, I used my tools to gain wisdom, and I upgraded the tool.
Sure.
And she like, I said, if you disagree, Granny, that means you failed. And she was not going to fail nothing. So I knew she knew how to manipulate me in the most loving way to win.
Right.
And I knew how to do the same to her. Like, manipulate her, go, oh, all right, motherfucker. I get what you're saying. So it's like, nah, she's a renaissance. She did everything, man.
And I take it she's on your mother's or father's?
That's my mother's. That's my mother's mom.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm just, one of the things, I'm always about trying to build the road here. So
I feel it.
Okay, so one of the things I'm really curious about, you mentioned a few things that, like, she being in Arkansas, having to, like, literally grow up early. Her life is already started before she even knew it. She had to start picking up the role of, like, learning how to
everything,
sell, drugs and have, get a part of that life. Coming out to California, starting her life trying to do that. But one of the things you mentioned is, and one of the things I just been key on here is Queens.
Yeah. So,
well, maybe my question is, how did you end up in Queens? And maybe can you describe your mother?
So my dad's Haitian.
Okay.
He migrated to Southside Jamaica, Queens. My mom was young, and I don't know, she was like Jenny. I'm gonna say that. She was like Jenny from Forrest Gump, just out here selling drugs, making moves, and she meets my father. My father got family in Pasadena also.
Oh, okay.
Right? So I don't know how that connection, but I just know they're in this part, and what ended up happening is my dad's selling drugs, my mom's a user, my dad get caught up, my dad get deported. My mom pregnant with me, So my dad get deported, my mom pregnant with me, my mom have me, and end up doing time for the things she did with him. So after she had me, like, she was free for a while to have me. So around, like, I'm born in 84, December 31st, 1984. So my grandma say around, like, June 85, my mom ended up going to prison. You know what I mean? And that's her first, she did 10 feds straight. That's her first thing. You know what I mean? I don't know how, that's one thing I know, and I used to visit her.
Oh, you did? Like, I was curious about that.
I would visit her and stuff like that.
Do you mind me asking, like, the personality that she had? I imagine it must be really hard, but also that she mentioned that she was a user as well. So I'm really curious, like, do you get to feel like at least a motherly feeling?
Oh, nah, hell nah. I had an abandonment issue. My mom left me with crackheads, like, left me for collateral. I was collateral at one time. Like, I remember days she would get out of jail, and I know the day she getting out of jail, and I'm waiting on the porch, and I'm asleep on the porch, and she never shows up. But I know where she at. I go where she at. She at the crack house. I go there, she's there. I remember going to these trap houses with a 22 with me. You know what I mean? Like, looking for her.
You're talking about like 11-ish, 12?
Yeah, like 8, 11, like, and no, even like say even some, because she had my brother in 1990, and I was born with cocaine in my system. My brother was born with crack cocaine with his system. So I used to think he had a different dad also. So, like, because of that, I didn't learn how to read until like 9th grade. Same as my little brother. His was a little harder. Now my brother he's bipolar and schizophrenic. You know what I mean? So, I got diagnosed with bipolar. So it's like my mom being, doing drugs, being lost, and even that, like, I started noticing, I'm like, dang, where Granny at? And Granny is trying to figure out everything of being, a single mother. My grandfather, my mom's dad, he moves from Jacksonville to California also, and he becomes like he goes into the Navy. He becomes a golfer. He becomes a caddy. He started owning certain businesses. Like he was really good with his money. Like, you know, Grandpa was everything. Grandpa was a certified, bona fide hustler.
Yeah.
And a fool to the max. You know, this man was different. But you know, with my mama, it was. I realized she didn't. She had both parents and more, but no one was paying attention. And that's what I realized. I was like, oh, no one was paying attention. You know, I got attentive granny. She knew she messed up at a certain time, but by the time she get us, she kind of know how to maneuver. So I see. God, you be like, man, I'm raised by granny. Look at me.
Yeah.
She like that. You didn't get the granny I got, the Willie Dell I got. Right. Now she got moving, shaking Willie Dell. You know, she got Willie Dell going to France just to pick up a gown to bring back to Los Angeles to sell. Like, you know, but my mom had everything. She was in every class, every school, had every toy, had every birthday. She had those things, but I realized it doesn't matter because it's crazy. My mom lived a really good life when it came to money, but by the time it got to the grandkids, we're in poverty. You know, Granny don't got that much, Grandpa don't got that much no more. By the time we get to like our teen, money's coming up.
You only can move and shake for so long.
Yeah, you know what I mean. You know, it wasn't a. It was a good plan because she saved well.
Sure.
She saved well. She always had a house.
Clearly.
Always made moves. Always had a big house. You know what I mean? But just, you know, but my mom went through it. My mom was put through the ringer. You know what I mean? Like, I learned stuff about her that no son, if you're not ready to know certain things about your mom, you should know. Because her whole life, she was damn near violated. So I had to come with peace to where even though I was abandoned, I was put in situations where my life was threatened. I could have died. Because of her use of drugs, my mental complications are severe. They've been damaging. They've been hard. But out of all of that, it does not compare to what she's been through. Meaning, like, even she went through shit before I existed. And I got to thank ayahuasca for that and peyote. Like, you know, shout out to my psilocybins. You know, real talk. Like, it took me to a trip to where it put me, I did some ayahuasca, right? Mm-hmm. It took me to the moments my heart was the most broken. The most, like, she don't care about me, right?
Right.
Because I'm in here, I'm in this crack house. It smells crazy in here. I don't know. It smells terrible, right? Music is on. In my head, when I hear music, automatically I'm thinking they're having fun. And it's really good music, right? Being young, I don't really see what's going on at 9 years old, 10 years old. I'm not really seeing what's going on. The ayahuasca took me back with this perception, this mindset, understanding, knowledge, wisdom now, and I saw what was really going on. My mom was having a terrible time. My life was 10 times better.
Yeah.
Way better.
Sure.
My life was lit. Like, yeah. I laugh about it and I was like, God damn, mama, you was going through it. And I'm over here, like, holding on to something that is not mine. And that's my journey with my mama. Like, I had to figure out, like, yo, none of this pain is mine. This abandonment is not. She abandoned herself. She didn't abandon me, not on purpose at all. It's not even her fault. It's a lot of other trauma that was here before I was here again. Like,
you're trying to escape, yeah.
Yeah, and it's me taking this selfish mindset of me. Why you hurt me? Why I hurt me? then I realized I had my granny. I had a lot of love around me, like
For
so
sure.
much,
Yeah.
so much love around me. It made me look at her like, oh, okay, she was really hurt. She's still hurt to this day. Like my granny gone, her mama gone, but my granny and mama gone, right? And my granny didn't leave her none of the knowledge. I have it all. So now I have to push aside a lot of trauma I have to become her consultant. You know, like I am the queen's consultant. You know, I got to do what Jovonni was supposed to do with Jasmine.
Yeah.
You know, like help her become queen and run these lands. Like help her continue the matriarch. So it's like, I don't know. My journey with my mama is such a roller coaster, man.
Sure, and I appreciate you opening up on that.
Yeah,
I
like-
know this must be a hard situation. If you mind if I can continue?
Yeah.
So one of the things I'm really curious about as well. Sorry, I'm trying to keep track.
It's a lot, bro.
I'm trying my
bro.
best to try to keep
It's
track
a
of this.
lot, dog.
I don't want to.
Yeah.
There's so much here, and
Yeah, it's a lot.
I want to these are like you have these veins that I want to just mine.
Yeah,
like
it's a
I just
lot,
want to
man.
just dig through these.
Propaganda said write a book. I'd be like, sheesh, dog. I'm gonna have to. But
Yeah,
man.
for sure. So there's a key person I want to kind of jump into before we kind of get back on track.
Yeah.
You mentioned your brother.
Yeah.
You also mentioned that it seems like a year after your mother is in the system, and she's in for 10 years.
Yeah.
I think it seems like you're floating through the system as well.
Yeah.
You know, are you always connected with your brother throughout that time? Are you two always
Yeah.
going from?
Yeah. I'm connected with him at every moment.
Okay.
Even soon he was born. Even when we went into certain group homes together, you know, or certain aunties would take us. When they knew I had a little brother, I think people started having a little empathy for us being together. You know, because Granny couldn't have us. I remember Granny having us for a whole year. You know what I mean? Then we had to go back in the system because someone called Child Protection Service on something. You know what I mean? That for some reason, that's always some case in minority family. Like someone, I don't know, you want the check. I don't know. But I always was there. Like, even to a point to where Granny is going through her cancer scares and all of that. I'm at the elementary at his meetings. I'm signing him up for football. I'm signing him up for everything. So I'm taking that road now, like super big bro. Cause my granny was like, you gotta take him around the block forever. She said forever. That's your bro. So you gonna always have to take around him these new blocks and show him these new things. And I'm like, oh shoot, that's like the first introduction to my little brother. That's the first words I hear when he's born. You know what I mean? So it's like,
how's your relationship with not just with him, but first before I get into that, because 5 years old is you don't know how much you remember, but
Yeah.
How was your in group homes? Was the dynamic pretty? Do you felt like I don't know, for secure, or do you felt more secure at grandma's? Like, I'm curious about like your mentality. If you remember, like,
honestly, I feel secure nowhere. Even at Granny's at one point, because I had cousins that always wanted to test me. So I was always. This is when I learned how to tap into my anger as adrenaline. This is when I learned that, like, through. This is when they telling fat joke like, you just gonna sit on me. I'm like, yes, I am gonna. I can physically hurt you. Like, at the age of 6, 7, 8, 9, I just knew how to fuck. I was violent already because I had to protect myself. I had to protect myself from older men in group homes that was pedophiles. Uncles that was pedophiles with my cousins, and they wouldn't believe me. He like, nah. He like, I'm going through all of these things where, my granny told me I have to be a protector. Like, that's what she embedded in me. She's like, you have to be a protector, or you're gonna be fighting people and they're gonna think you're a bully. So you're gonna have to bully people that bullies. You're gonna have to do. She like, that's who you are. You're gonna have to stand up for people who can't stand up for themselves. And she pushed me because I had this anger problem, so she doesn't want me fucking up random people, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like Dexter, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, your son's a fucking psychopath, but what happens if he kills other murderers? You put him on this path a little, like my grandma was that mode. Like, I can't change this anger out of you, but if you gonna fight someone, make sure it's noble, like that. Like, make sure the violence is noble. Like, she called it necessary violence. She was that type of woman, like, you know. So
to talk to a 6-7-year-old, and I think she had man, I mean, she must have saw a little bit of her in you, because for sure, because like you're talking about like her at that age when she was in Arkansas, already starting to be like, oh shoot, I gotta start. Yeah, no one else is looking. You know, she was going through like men trying to, like, you know, all of that. You're seeing it literally happening around you. And now I'm sorry for mentioning this here. The thing I'm still a little confused about. When did you first get to like meet your granny? When did you get to, because it seems like as if you were bouncing through group homes in Queens, and then she got you for a year, and then you started bouncing
back. The first time,
I don't know if you remember that. That's a huge question, but I'm just curious here.
I'm at Hamilton High School, Hamilton Elementary.
Okay.
In Pasadena. This is first grade. Miss Squires. And I'm able to do first grade in Pasadena. So this is around the first time I'm meeting Granny. You know, and this is vibing Granny riding on bikes. Like, you know, Granny picked me up. Me and her dressing together. She got on peach Converse. I got a picture that I'm in peach pants, a peach stonewash tank top, and she's in a peach dress with a white linen jacket with a white hat with a peach like feather with her peach shoes. Like, this is around this time. Damn, that's going back, and it's in and out, bro. Like, 1 minute I'm with Granny. And my cousin, like Keatron or Byron or Sade, these are my other cousins, where their aunt is on the same road my mom is on. And those are my step-grandfather's kids. You know, that's from his other marriage. And he got these kids, Gail and Terry. Terry has all my cousins, and this is the revolving door. So some of us is in and out. And I don't think people understand how the system be playing with us like hot potato.
I have so many.
Like, they don't understand how much they would play with hot potatoes, or an auntie would call the police like they're not taking care of them. You can send them over here, and they want us because of a fucking check. A check. It's always because of a check. Because I'm not knowing that I'm a property of the state. I'm a ward to the state now. So I come with a check. Me and my little brother, myself, I come with money. Other kids don't come with money. I come with money. You know what I mean? And when I started realizing that, I started realizing why I'm moving in different places.
Because people are trying to, like, almost hire you.
Yes.
It's like people are trying to, oh man, this is like headhunting.
Yeah, it's like that's why when I see people that got like 7 kids and it's through the government, I know each kid is getting at least $400 to $700 a month. You know what I mean? You making a couple bands off these kids. You know what I mean? I know some family got 14 kids in the system. I got an auntie Eileen that she's doing the same thing. Like, she got like all these kids at her house. You know, and you would think, oh, they're in a house, but no, it still feels
cramped.
It still feel cramped. It still feel caged. It still feel a ceiling, a block, a roadblock somewhere, and nothing feel limitless. You know, I don't think people understand the bouncing around.
I would. Hey man,
yeah, it's wild.
2 main big things I want to jump into later. But thank you for answering my question. Now, can your brother aspect? Can you describe like his personality as a kid? Can you describe yourself? You mentioned that when you were a kid, you felt very. There was this anger. There was this kind of like this violence, but you had these glimpses with your grandmother who kind of put you in a better direction. Like, hey, look, use it. I don't have a lot of time with you, right? So I got to give you something really impactful to just try to like until the next time, like
to hang on to this.
I'm trying here. Like, see, that's so the dynamic.
Like, here goes a seed. And if you do what I need you to do, it's gonna grow.
Now, do you feel like it was let me stay on here. I'll write this down. But what do you feel like that dynamic of you trying to get you and your brother? How was your relationship? Can you describe his personality? And can you describe kind of like probably let's say like up to middle school, even if a little bit of high school if you have that.
My brother was in the beginning. Some teachers thought he was a mute because he didn't talk. Until they would go home and realize he's wild as hell. So my brother was shy around certain people. Then...
Sorry, do you mind if I grab his name? Sorry.
I hate that. Jonathan. So, Jonathan, Jay Allen, he was shy, but then around the neighborhood, they would call him Crocodile Dundee because he was wild. Like, he'd find a mattress and find a roof to jump off of. Like, this is him in elementary, like skateboarding, like wilding out, doing everything, trips on roof. Started backyard wrestling with him and his friends, like between like 6th and 7th grade. I don't know. Me and his relationship was like Rob Dyrdek and Big Black, like sometimes, cause I would have to go out and watch this motherfucker. Like, I would go watch him, his friends, they all wilding. But you couldn't do nothing to him because the older brothers are there playing ball, watching them.
And that's the protector.
Yeah, I'm the protector. He's a protector too. It's been times where people wanted to jump me and knock stuff off my hat and want me to pick them up, but my pride wouldn't pick it up. But my brother would pick it up and be like, he whispered in my ear, go, next time. I go, oh, all right. He like Bub. He called me Bub because couldn't say brother, so he was like Bub. I'll pick up the hat. So it was like we protected each other when he knew like my brother ain't gonna pick that up, so I'm gonna pick it up. My brother got pride, so he knew me to sense too. Like
it ain't worth it.
Yeah, and my brother had crazy mood swings. At the time, we don't know he's bipolar. Not knowing I'm bipolar too. But he was just outgoing. Sweetheart, like, found a kid with a broken leg and bought popsicles to heal the leg, like to make a little crutch for it, like to help,
Wow.
Like one thing, like my brother, like I used to get on with my brother. Sometimes he can follow then lead, and that's where I really used to get him on. Like he will just go with the flow sometimes, and we get them in trouble. They got him in trouble now, just going with the flow. And I need you to be a leader. I need you to go with your own mind sometime, man. I don't know. Up to high school, like, I don't know, like, him all the way up to elementary, sweetheart, outgoing, playing every sport, been baptized. Used to get mad at me, like, telling me to go get baptized, telling me to stop yelling. So he was always on my head about certain things when I was young. Like, I had no control. Around high school, it starts changing a little bit. Like, he's into girls now. He's playing football. USC is looking at him. There's a lot of stuff in his life, and he ended up getting, like, overwhelmed, and it wakes up his schizophrenic and his bipolar, and a lot of downhill stuff after that. Like, and I'm still big bro. I couldn't be there all the time because now I'm working crazy jobs. I'm doing music. I'm bodyguarding. I'm working 24-hour security jobs from Securitas to like all these security companies. I'm bouncing. I'm doing music. I'm finding myself. I'm sleeping in trailers. Like I'm a trailer guard, so you get to sleep in this trailer, and you just take care of certain properties. So I'm in and out of his life and just checking up on him, and I think that was a time where he got lost a little bit, and I always blame myself for it because I wasn't there. Like to this day, I still blame myself because if I was there, none of it would happen. You know what I mean? Like my brother ended up doing jail time. He ended up going to jail like 4 times. He went to jail on his 18th birthday. Then find out that he got a girl pregnant. And this is the girl that got him in jail. So it's a lot of stuff, bro. It's a lot. I was flying kites, put money on his books. Granny put on his books. Like, we're there. I'm showing up on his birthday. Lisa's there. Like, still being that big bro. Even I'm busy, I'm still trying to find that way, you know what I mean? But now, fast forward now, he's driving trucks with my mama and his stepdad. Like he been through the ringer too in his own journey, like all the way through. Now he's on a road somewhere in Maryland, driving this Mayflower truck with my mama. Like that's a quick journey, man. That's a quick. So I'm glad we took that dump off right there, like to show. It's crazy that him and my mama almost had the similar path. And I tell my mama, I said, you kind of reaping what you sow right now. She like, for real? I said, yeah, because the way he is just like you. Like, because she couldn't handle him in jail, but she not know she's a perfect person to help him because she been through exactly what he's going through. But she couldn't recognize that without me, like, showing her, like, and it was crazy, bro. It's, God, a funny dude, man. You funny.
To kind of like go back just a tat, I'm just writing down like some things I think
I
really
feel
cool.
you. We're going down the
memory lane here a little bit.
It's a lot.
One of the things I wanted to kind of touch base on as well is that you mentioned that like you had these glimpses with your grandmother, and she would plant these seeds, right? Yeah. But I'm curious on like, do you feel, and I'm correct me if I'm wrong, I don't want to intrude, right? But do you feel like there was a little bit of favoritism there? Like, did she give that same respect to your brother? Did she give that same respect to all the people that passed through, or was there something about you? I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
No, you know what? No one hung out with her. I hung out with her. I did errands with her. I watched Titanic with her. I watched Tombstone with her. I watched all her old movies with her. She had a bag of movies. I knew she loved Winnie the Pooh because she would I hung out with her. I was her road dog because I loved the way she treated Grandpa. So I wanted to be treated like Grandpa. So I recognized that. So to be on that side of Granny, you got to do her favorite things with her. You have to go do her favorite things. You got to know that her favorite flower is Bird of Paradise. Her favorite color combo is navy blue, red, and white, like Nautica colors. You just have to know that she wore a 12 narrow. And you got to get her shoes from Easy Spirit. She liked Nordstrom's. She liked the coconut cake at Nordstrom's. I hung out with her. Of course, you can get favoritism when you hang out with that person.
Sure.
She gonna always you want to roll? Because no one else, they want to go do their things. And they don't want to, who want to hang out with a person with authority? This guy. Because I needed that. And I wanted that. And Granny looked like she having fun.
I was going to ask that. Why did you want to hang out with someone?
It looked like she's having fun. And she get to go to places and, while we're running an errand to go do stuff for my grandpa, and she take me to Santa Anita Botanical Garden, and the first time he's seen the albino peacock. Right? This is the first time he's seeing things. I don't know. Granny was adventurous, and I don't think people wanted to hang out with her like that. Like,
yo, that's so cool. It's really cool that you mentioned that. Like, this sense of like the fun side of a relationship. It's the cool thing about valuing wisdom.
Yeah.
Putting yourself in a position where like you actually seeked it, right? And it was less about seeking it because you wanted to gain something, well, a little bit, but it was more about like you were doing it because she was like you actually enjoyed.
Yeah.
You enjoyed the relationship, you know.
Yeah, that was my
That's so
dog.
interesting.
Like I would sit with her and she would read the Bible and cross out stuff and say certain things about the Bible, and I love all her Arkansas country sayings. You know, that don't mean a hell of beans and all of that. I'd be like, what? You gonna push or pull your little red hill? You gonna push or pull your little red wagon up the hill? And just, you know, let's start right here. I was see the music I was listening to. I was into lyrics, so I wanted to understand what they are saying. So I think my whole life source is I want to understand, because my biggest insecurity is it's hard for me to absorb knowledge because it's hard for me to read. So what I did is I put myself in proximity to where I'm gaining wisdom at the highest potential, and that's by a grand. That's why I hanged out with Blanche Cobb. I was hanging out with my great grandmother in Florida when she was in her 90s, and she died at 115. So every time we stayed in Florida and everyone stayed at the hotels, I stayed at grandma's house where everyone says it's haunted. I stayed with grandma. I'm picking up the phone when Oprah calls and like grandma's here. Because I'm with her, you know. Like I think that was my thing, and I think I like that. That's my thing. Like, you know,
The seeking to understand.
yeah, understanding
And she would actually, and she, you weren't like, it never felt like you were a nuisance, right? It was a situation you felt like and correct me, like, is this kind of like your relationship with someone with love in a way? I'm curious here.
Yeah, like
We haven't talked too much about that.
like, but everyone I love in my life, I love learning from them, and I appreciate them in that manner, and I love to see what they love to do, or why do they love it? Because I might love it. I have friends that's assholes, right? But you haven't touched that part of their heart where the love is at. So they might be an asshole to you, but they're a sweetheart to me. What I say, even the wicked is looking after me. Like, like I have uncles like Jerome from Snowfall. They're murderers, straight up. They, went in the army, came out, gangbang, went to jail for a murder attempt or murder, came out. But man, they love me with this sweetness. They love me. I don't feel the fear that they put in other people's heart. I feel the warmth from them. I feel that blanket when it's cold from them, even though they have this wickedness about them. But to me, man, they love me they love me literally to death. Like,
So then let me ask you this then. I know knowing you because I listened to some of your music prior to this show, but I'm curious because I'm curious on you give a lot to your granny.
Yeah.
Especially, sorry to say it, that terminology.
Yeah,
So
yeah. No, you're good.
I didn't grab her name, but one of the things I'm curious about is like, what do you think that is something about you that came from you? You know what I'm saying?
Man,
I hate to ask. I don't know. If a lot comes from her. A lot comes from like.
I say my tenacity, man. My ambition for knowledge and wisdom. My energy. Even my grandmother, a lot of people can change their mood. Can't change mine. Like, I became really, truly water. And that's me becoming a bouncer, me doing sumo, me doing from the most intense sports to working at a daycare, to babysitting, to it's from nurture to to something as vicious or intense as that. So what else come me? Oh, my business mind, my talent, my pure my gift. My grandma didn't know where it came from. Like to this day, she didn't know where it came from.
And can we haven't got too much into that.
Yeah.
What do you mean by like the talent?
Like
I
like
just
from rapping to performing to finding my way in this world in a very unconventional way. Changing the mood in a room. Like, I don't know. It's not just music talented. It's just energy talented. My grandmother started calling me Big Kahuna at a very young age because I guess I became alpha dog in the house. I rose above everyone in my house. The way I talked, the way I approached problems, the way I made everyone shut up and stop yelling.
And you in relationship with your age here?
Yeah.
You, Big Kahuna, were you like the oldest or was it more?
I wasn't even the oldest.
I'm curious.
I'm not the oldest now. Like, and they still look at me like that in proximity. Even when it comes to the big family events,
it was just your energy.
It's just the energy. I'll call out the elders. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, I'm calling out elders. That's me. Like that. What my grandmother wasn't calling out elders. I was. I'm calling out her sisters, my grandpa. I'm calling out everyone. My mama, her friends. Like, you know, my family became very diverse. Lesbians, trans, gay, a lot of people doing different things, and people like to use certain derogatory words against them and think the young is supposed to accept that. I was like, fuck that. Or see me. And my granny would stand up, boy, and I look at my granny, and she said, all right now. I said, Granny, bitch, sit down. I said, I'm good with these words. She go, all right now, just bite your tongue on certain things. And I explained myself. I was that person now in family. Like, I became all of them. You know what I mean? I became good Thanos.
Ooh.
Yeah, I got all the stones. Every single stone. Knowledge, wisdom that my family had, all the good of it, I absorbed all of it. And anything that was kind of like, nah, I don't like that, I threw it out. Everything. Like, I think that's what I got. Like, what's mine. It's like, that's my legacy now. Like, the bloodline changed. That's why I said it got upgraded. It got that, and it was me looking at all these tools of mine and like, oh, that's not going to work. I need to move with more love. I understand the sternness of my grandmother. I understand that respect need to be earned. What happened to I just give it? And you can lose it. I'm going to give respect off back. I'm going to give unconditional love off back, but you can lose it as fast as I just gave it to you. And that's mine. That's me looking at, oh, I don't like how this is hooked up. It worked for you, Granny, and what you taught me worked for a while, but I wasn't propelling as fast as I needed. So let me switch this up.
So that's where I'm curious, right?
Yeah.
That's where I'm curious. This part here. Because so much was gained, not just from her, but you gained these like almost, I hate to say this, almost what not to do from a lot of people. Like what to do. Yeah, what to do
and what not to do. Nah, real talk. Yeah,
so
both.
Real talk. And so I'm curious, and if you want to take a quick break, we can.
No, we're good.
Okay. So I'm this part, right, where I'm really, really curious, and I want to learn a little bit more here, is you're transitioning from this gaining and understanding, right, then to be understood. Now, because there's a seek to understand form of your life, right? You're just in absorb mode, right? And you're carrying on, you're selling on the side, like you're trying to make ends meet. You're trying to help Graham. But there's a time where things start to shift. Where you mentioned like you go into this where you're not hanging out with your brother as much. You're not like you're kind of like, not want to say talking back, but like that's what older people.
They would think I'm talking back.
You're not. No, it was just more just. Yeah, sorry. Go on.
Nah. It became wisdom. That's all I think. I think is me getting wiser now, like not to hold my tongue. Oh, around it, like around all of this, like even me in the system, I've one thing that I forget to tell people sometimes, like I'm in therapy, so I'm asking my my social worker, because around 9 I understand what a social worker is. Then in my mind, the social worker worked for me. So my mind switches.
Yo.
Like, the social worker works for me.
Because now you understand.
I understand it now. Now I'm about to put your ass to work, social worker. I want nutrition coach. I want therapy. I want anger management. I want to know how can I do certain things. I started going to the Boys and Girls Club in Pasadena, off Fair Oaks. This is me joining a group called LIT, Leaders in Training. I'm meeting Fortune 500 CEOs, businesswomen and men, that's teaching me how to talk to a businessman. It's teaching me how to wait for a woman to invite me in her space before she shake my hand or give me a hug. It showed me how to be a 6-foot black man in a space where people are intimidated and give them space to have eye contact with me. Like, in the midst of all this chaos, it's my granny seats and it's therapy. It's LIT. It's football. It's baseball. It's an African store after school that's teaching me about Africa, Mount Kilimanjaro. It's a Greek homie that's breaking down Greek mythology to me. You know, it's like I'm a nerd. Like, at heart, I'm a nerd. You know, I'm into wrestling. I'm into Marvel. You know, I can break down certain Marvel characters because I've been reading it for so long. Avenger. This is when people like, what are the nerd? I have obsession with certain knowledge and wisdom and certain tools that I want. But then I like to know stuff that's not real, cause it might help me out. Merlin is a part of Slytherin. So if you look up Harry Potter fandom, and they give you a list of every character in Slytherin, Merlin's in there. So now I love Merlin. I look at Merlin as me, Noah James, Jamie Wilson. Magic. But really the magic is alchemy. And what is really the alchemy is you was being submissive to Chinese or Japanese or Taiwanese type of gunpowder or certain knowledge. Or you going somewhere to be a student. So now you're a student. And from there, you learn alchemy. You learn how to do stuff with gunpowder. This is Merlin's story, you know. And then I learned what Arthur is. From Merlin, I learned King Arthur was really a king, but he was a servant. But he looked at himself as a servant of the people. And King Arthur if the people in the village feet was dirty from the mud, he would bring down all his workers to wash all their feet. Because a king is a servant. Because I know all of this because I went and looked up fucking Harry Potter, who's in Slytherin, went through Merlin's timeline, went through King Arthur timeline, went through what alchemy is.
Origin
stories. I learned Peter Pan is from alchemy. I learned Neverland's from alchemy. I learned Tinkerbell's is all magic or alchemy or knowledge or understanding. So my mind is start taking on all of this. This is what made me a good football player. Know how to read people. Knew that people they didn't know I had a bad leg. I would turn my leg a certain way because it's like details. Or man, that was just me every day, like among this chaos. And some days I don't know I'm gonna be alive because I'm just surrounded by this chaos. But at the same time, I want something better, and this is me at the age 9. This is
pursuit of knowledge.
So like on top of that, I have these things I'm seeking myself. I have granny's knowledge, I have grandpa hustle, I have mama's fortitude. Cause mama was tough. She didn't let nothing break her. She was unbreakable because she's here now. Then I'm going to therapy to understand how to maneuver through my anger and abandonment issues, how to talk to people, how to greet people, how to talk to myself, how to love myself. You know, like truly love myself. No
This
matter
wasn't
what.
a push. No one's like pushing you. This was just like,
this is probably fucking X-Men pushing me, or Xavier and me watching these cartoons and anime. Anime's punching, like, anime is filled with so much.
dude, they don't know.
They don't know.
They don't know.
So, but anime is really with like
don't know, bro.
karate flicks, right? So kung fu flicks.
Yo,
you don't understand, like,
Wu-Tang
like. So I'm being presented with kung fu flicks that's talking about self-love and accountability and vulnerability, and a person who love themselves will love everyone. A person that love themselves will never find anger in this world. You know what I mean? I'm finding how to be water. I'm looking up pods and orcas and all of these things that is transforming me, my knowledge. I'm fatherless, so I'm a sponge to anything that's going to make me feel good, except things that made my mama feel good. What made her feel good made her a drug addict. What made my grandma feel good sometime, when my grandpa died, she started smoking Primos and started doing a little bit of more drugs that she's lost. So what I'm seeing with making people feel good, the only vice that making me feel good that's killing me is food and sweets. Cause that was my emotional eating. I break down, let me go get something to eat. And I was a sweetheart. Everybody wanted to feed me. Everybody. Like, it was just, that's what it was. It don't matter if she was 36 or 15 and I'm just like a teenager and they just want to feed me. Like, oh, what you want? I'm buy you a, like, I'm like, do I just live? Give me that. Yeah, give me that. So it's like, nothing was pushed. It's just everything that I was absorbing pushed me. Diamond Dallas Page. He started wrestling in his 30s. WCW. He wins the belt. And he was like, I didn't do it for none of y'all. I did it for me. DDP. And then he does this thing called self-high five. I love myself. Self-high five. Then he put the diamond up and go, bang. This is wrestling teaching kids self-worth, self-love. I didn't get this championship because I wanted fans. I got this championship because of me. Man, this is what the cream rises to the crop. Macho Man. Talking about the cream rises to the top.
Yo.
Like, sometimes I feel sad for women in life because they didn't get this push from the cartoons or toys or anime that's being pushed towards them. Everything was cook, clean, Barbie. I had an easy bake because I like baking. But everything was that. But everything in my life, anime, self-love, push. You can do it, ambition. Don't give up. You're saying, even if you get beat up, you get more powerful getting back up. This is what we are digesting, bro. Like,
but you're looking deeper.
Yeah.
No, you're looking at a level where a normal 9 to 15-year-old kid is not. They're just looking to escape. But you're not looking to escape. You're just like, you're looking to understand.
Yes.
And it's so crazy because man, okay, sorry. This is wild. So this is where I feel like everything changes. You go through this cycle where you dig deeper and understand a little bit more about the psychology and philosophy about the world you live in and how it can benefit you in your situation. Yeah. And how you use those tools to make not just your personal life, but other people's lives better. And my question now is, you now have all these tools. How do you share it? And is this where music and rapping comes into play? Because you mentioned reading and writing was really hard for you, and speaking to other people was not. But are you trying to tell the story through music, or what? And obviously, football. Was this in high school? Like, I'm curious about now. You gained it. How do you give it?
So me say now I'm around like 12, right? And I'm being more curious to read and write and read more. So I'm at the Boys and Girls Club more. I'm reading certain books. You know, I'm reading the Quran with my homie Ben. You know, my granny read the Bible, so I'm reading the Quran with my homie Ben. I had another homie that was showing me like a lot of different religions. So I'm everywhere. I'm not reading like whole books, but I'm getting like glimpse of everything. And I'm taking everything in. Like, oh man, like man, I say around like 12, 13. That's why I kind of experiment with music. Like I'm being vocal a little now, right? So say around 11. My grandfather died in 96. I'm around like 11, 12. And my grandfather's into Bobby Blue Bland, B.B. King, Muddy Waters, into a lot of blues and jazz. So I'm singing these Bobby Blue Bland songs with him, right? When he passed, I missed that. And I wanted to be a part of that. So I think freestyling started coming around this time. Like Wu-Tang is big, Nas is big, Biggie's big. Every freestyle is on point. We freestyling in parks, a lot of stuff. I start freestyling a lot. I became a battler too. So I became.
Whoa.
So this is me getting my anger out too. This is the vicious me coming out. This is my first rap name was like this is high school with Papa Smurf. You know, because the way I rap was wise. Like that was my first rap name with Papa Smurf, and between say 12 and 15, I'm just freestyling, bro. I'm freestyling. I'm any open mic, anything on the corner, battling people. Like I'm just rapping, put a beat on. I'm rapping over rap songs that already got lyrics. I'm at that point. I'm that hip hop now. I'm very like, you know, trying to rap like a rap version of Bobby Blue Bland with a growl. Like that's why I have a growl in my music. That like that's all blues. That's all from blues. So yeah, around like 12 to like 15, man, I'm really trying to just express myself. I don't know what. I don't know even how. I know the why.
Right.
Because my grandfather's gone. My granny is kind of gone too because she missed her husband. And I'm kind of fending for myself and protecting my brother. But I'm becoming known at the Boys and Girls Club. I'm battling. I'm kind of, oh man, he rapping, you know. So around that time, I'm not even taking it seriously, man. Like even all the way up to high school, like I'm in me and Cam Gnarly went to high school, went to Cajon.
Oh, okay.
So I started doing Freestyle Fridays at
Shout
Cajon.
outs to Cam.
You know what I mean? I started doing Freestyle Fridays. I started doing talent shows. I started trying to record music. I joined Glee, like at Cajon. I started helping out with plays. Like I think it just started growing. The more I found more outlets of it, like cause it was just I'm gonna just rap. Then it was like, oh, I'm gonna try to create an artist. Oh, I'm gonna try to make an album. I want to do talent shows. Like it's everything, and I just always found what I want to do. And that's due to Granny. That's due to Granny too. I give that to Granny because Granny said, just look in the yellow pages and look up stuff. That's it. That's all. That's her. Always her point. She point me somewhere, and I go to it, and I go, oh, here go a talent show. Here go KGGI. Here go Voodoo Nation Records. Pages. Yeah, that's how far it is. I'm in the yellow pages in high school looking up entertainment groups and record labels, and it just grew like more and more. And it's always been like my poetry or my therapy, or I'm gonna tell these stories, or my mom just got out of jail, but she got a girlfriend now, and she choosing her girlfriend over our family. So I wrote about it, dissing them. I dissed the shit out them. Her and my mama. Like all of that. Then I had a song about really missing my grandfather because he was like that father figure. I wrote songs about going to heaven and killing everyone. Like it was the stuff I didn't want to say out loud, but I can rap it. Okay, it was allowed. It was to me. It was allowed to be this angry and this bitter and this vicious. Like,
I'm sorry. Oh, I should have interrupted you, but do you feel like learning and gaining all this knowledge, you started to understand more about the world, and you had like, I don't know, despise it. I don't want to say despise it, but you get smarter.
Yeah, I didn't fuck smarter. With it. Yeah, nah.
Because you being ignorant is a very different side to being. Once you start understanding, you start. It could change the way you see people and see the world, and you had to have some way to outlet that. And vocalize that. It was interesting. I was thinking that you were doing it more to like share and educate the things that you were learning.
Nah.
But it was actually you were trying to share and I would say share, to let go of the things that you couldn't figure out how to let go before.
Yeah, like I couldn't figure. I had all this anger.
You had no way to deal with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had I didn't vent to people a lot.
This is finally
even
chance.
the therapy a little bit. I would vent, but some stuff they couldn't even comprehend.
Right.
This white lady that my therapist, and she don't understand none of this. At this time, she don't even understand what's a microaggression. You know what I mean? She not understanding at the age of 11, they pick up me, my cousin, and my other cousin. I'm 11, my cousin 14, my other cousin 7, for a murder case. So they pick us up, they interrogate us, all of us. Then they let us call. After they do that, we all don't say nothing. I called my granny. I told her exactly what's going on. This is, I never told this story on camera a lot. My grandmother was like, what's going on? I told her, and she like, what do it look like? Are they treating you like kids or a grown man? This is a conversation. Are they treating you like you're a kid or a grown man? I said, they treating us like we're a grown man, Granny. She said, okay, what do y'all got on? I said, I got on my Jordans and my Stonewash, and my S-Curls fly, and I got a Jordan logo. I said, Keecher got on his gate pants, you know, he's fly too. And I was like, Charles fly too. We all fly. She said, one of y'all gonna have to pee on yourself. I'm like, what you mean? She said, because they're talking to you like an adult. They don't think you're scared. They don't see you as kids. One of y'all got to pee on yourselves. Or if all of y'all pee on yourselves, y'all be released. They will release you. I go, what the fuck? I'm like, okay. I don't quite understand, but I'm going to do it. Because she pretty much going to explain it to me. I go to my cousin. Granny said pee on herself. He like, in these Jordans? And it's like, what would you mean? They gonna look at us and they gonna laugh at us, and you know when they see us. I said, Granny said we gotta pee on ourselves. I'm like, all right. We pee on ourselves. Like, she like act scared. When they ask you a question, act scared and pee on yourself. A couple 10, 15 minutes go by. It's feel longer than that. We pee on ourselves. 5 minutes later, they let us go. My grandma said, now they look at you as scared kids. Any kid would be scared getting caught up with a murder case. Any kid would be frightened to death about talking about I killed somebody. She said, y'all are so, like, we didn't do nothing. She like, I bet y'all just saying we didn't do nothing. We wasn't there. Knowing y'all was at school. And y'all so confident knowing that y'all didn't do this. And y'all so confident that y'all got evidence of not doing this that y'all not scared. She's like, y'all a little too conscious of, y'all a little too aware.
You know it's you.
You know what's going.
You live to the slide. You know it's whoa.
So she had to make us act like how she think a scared child would act to police if they got ever booked for a murder that happened while we're in fucking school. Like, it was so dumb.
She's almost reminding you how to be a kid again.
Yeah, but she actually teaching us how to be black in America. Like, no matter that we are children, her first question is asking, are they treating you like kids or treating like you're grown? Because we know the difference.
Yeah. We
know the difference because my grandma would do that. My grandma sent us to one of our auntie house, but she don't know the husband. So she don't know if you're a good man, a pedophile, something like that. He said, if he talk to you like this, it's a child. If he talk to you like this, he talk to you like a grown man. You know what I mean? Watch how he talk to his kids and see how he talk to you. Like, her number one rule is be aware of your surroundings. That's always her number one rule. Like, because she had to be. So that's her protection spell of all of that. You know what I mean? So it's that crazy, bro. Like, she was really telling me, hey, when you're in school and the teacher get mad at you and you're getting really angry, ask the teacher politely, can you please get up? Just don't get up. Ask to move and go outside. When the security come get you, I don't know for what, but just in case they come get you, don't get up fast. Don't move fast. Take your time. Don't stuff your papers in your backpack. Slowly, zip. Take your time. Calm down. Like, she's teaching me. Smile. If you can put over a cop, listen to what he's saying. Then figure out how can you connect with this cop humanly before he look at you as something else. Like, this is the teaching of my grandmother since I was around her. These are little pieces of conversation from the age of 6 to the age of 35. Like for real. So she always had me prepare for these moments. Like, yeah, I know, bro.
Oh man, I can't stop, dude.
I'm 38, bro. So like, I live. My first 20 years is a movie, and my after 20 of that is more of I'm finding myself. I'm finding peace. I found love. I found myself. I'm traveling a little bit, you know. But my first 20 years was, sheesh.
And it seems like now you can't say nothing to those cops, right? You can't say nothing, but now you finally got an outlet to say something.
Yeah.
You finally got the outlet to
talk about it.
You put it in. You say okay, and then you can't really, you know,
can't do nothing about it. You can't get mad at me. I can expose myself, the world, how I feel about people. It's my ultimate diary because I put it out. Now people can hear it. You know what I mean? And they might go through something similar. You know, I find people that go through similar. I'm like, damn, all right, I wasn't alone in this. So music became that outlet. To this day, it's like I got something to say because I feel this and I want to get this out. And I don't know where else to put it, you know. And I can be animated with it as much as I want, or I can add something to it as much as I want. So it's like, it's an open canvas. Like, music became, live performance became that too. Like, it's in its own energy.
Going through high school, digging through that kind of cycle, and obviously, you know, that kind of aspect. Did you ever kind of see the direction you wanted to take your life? Do you ever kind of have it seems like your whole life was you're just trying to survive. Do you finally feel like this is where you kind of have a little bit more control about? You said you're working at this time, like you're trying to put it all together still.
I'm just trying to get it, man. I don't know what I'm doing. There was one point I thought I was going to go to the NFL because I got real good at football. Leg got messed up. I start working. I'm big as hell, so my granny was like, you need to make some money being this big. So I started doing like bodyguard work and security work. I started just making money, helping my family out, like saving money. I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do, so say between the age of 18 to like 22, 23, you know, even like say I started bouncing at 16. I started bouncing at the spot in San Bernardino at 16, and I stopped bouncing around like 21, 22. But then I started doing other security. So I was just doing jobs, man. Like, I didn't know what I wanted to do.
But I always rapping, singing. There was
always rapping, always moving, always shaking. Doing events. Like, me being a bouncer, I learned how to do events. I learned how to be a promoter in clubs. I don't know, being me a bouncer actually gave me a lot of wisdom too, because I was working for a lot of different people, a lot of different cultures. Like, I started understanding between Korean culture and Japanese culture and Chinese culture and Laos culture and Vietnamese culture and Thai culture and Cambodian culture. Even me knowing all of these types, you know what I mean? Like, I started understanding a whole lot more, like, about just the world we're in and what type of people we have in this world when I was a bouncer. So I think I was on the joy of that, like, all the time. You know what I mean? Then I was working at Travel America right over here. TA, the Travel America.
Yeah.
I was a region manager of all the Travel Americas. I was doing all the security for them. I was hiring people, firing people, getting lot lizards off the plate. Like, it was really bad. Then I got hit by a big rig that messed up my knee, and I was down for a while. And here comes music, harder. So while I'm down and depressed that I'm down, instead of being down, I started going after music. So I'm going hard with music. I'm going so fucking hard, I'm not paying attention to nothing else. While I'm going this hard for music, I end up getting diabetes. Because my knee is down and I'm just out at night performing, eating, not know what's going on, end up falling into a diabetic coma, like, bad. The night I went into a coma, I had a show in Rancho Cucamonga, and I performed, and I blacked out. Next minute I'm on stage, next minute I'm outside, next minute I'm at Arrowhead, next minute I'm waking up in the hospital. And that's like, if amongst me going this hard, it's fucking crazy. Look, this is the devil, right? By me going this hard, my name started buzzing. But I almost died going this hard with music, like. But my name is going out. I'm doing it. I'm about to push out my first EP called In Blanca Mode. Let me straighten myself with calling Blanca Mode. I'm getting at it, man. So, like, even music was a learning journey. Pursuing it, like, it was, like, I learned a life and death situation. like
For real.
more, like,
Yo.
like I said, I'm a nerd. I'm obsessed. Once I got obsessed with music, I wanted to figure out everything. I started reading books. Started reading, like, little Eric Bischoff book, Paul Heyman books, like how to brand, how to promote, how to sell myself. I started looking up, like, what's a stoic, like Marcus Morales. Yeah, you know what I mean. I started looking up stuff like that, like my mindset, how I am, cause I'm in a really dark spot, and I am in the devil's playground. So my grandmother said, "Who do you want to be in this playground?" She said, "Do you want to be the one that hide razor blades in the sand, or find the razor blades? Are you the one that's teaching people how to do the dead man jump or the jump on the monkey bars? Or are you teaching them how to swing?" She like, figure out who you want to be in this playground. And this is me after me going through my diabetes scare, and I started trying to figure out who I want to be in this playground, where I know it can get very dark, temptations can be very high, money can be on the line. There's a lot of temptations in that, and I don't think I was ready for that world of devil know not to give me his lowest card. He ain't gonna give me a 1 of diamonds. He gonna give me a 10. He knows, like, I need to start high with this motherfucker. He been through something. He know me enough. So I'm gonna give him something a little good. I think music was that. I'm doing it. It's getting good. I'm not paying attention to what I'm eating, what I'm doing, where I'm going. I'm just out here making money. And boom, out of nowhere, diabetes come hit me. Pop, 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 pop. 1, 2 in the biscuit. I'm like, all right. I got to approach this as I approach how I seek for knowledge, So it was like my early 20s was that journey, like finding that person who I am in the music business, as an entrepreneur, as a partner in the music business with Lisa J. And this is my life partner. So how do I do this with her? How do I make sure that she's I want her as much as I want this, and prove that. Like, it was a lot of stuff I was going through my mind as a man. Now here come that grown man shit now. It's like, like, really, what do I want to do with music? How far do I want to go with music? Like, around 23 is like, I know exactly what I want to do and how to do it. And how do I want to move? I started reading 48 Laws of Power.
Yo.
How do I want, what's my reputation? How do I want to be perceived?
I want to jump into something because it seems like you said first you found your now new, not new, excuse me, but you now know the path you want to take.
Yeah.
But what's really interesting here, and you mentioned it, but it's really interesting here is you do not want to go on this path alone.
Nah.
So you have a partner.
Yeah.
You fall in love with two people at the same time, essentially music, right?
Yeah.
Lisa.
Yeah.
Can you describe that story there?
Um.
And I guess I would like to first. I don't know how you want to order this, but I would love to understand a little bit more about that journey between you two.
I think I'm still I met Lisa online. I was in Jacksonville, Florida. I'm just out of high school, a couple years out of high school. I'm bouncing. I'm in the IE, but I went to go visit my family in Florida. My cousin teaches me Yahoo Chat. I get on Yahoo Chat and I go, anyone from IE? And she go, I'm from Fontana. And that's how I meet Lisa.
Wow.
I come back home a little early because I want to meet this girl. I meet her. And this is the first person I wasn't scared to tell her about my life. And not feel like she going to be scared of it.
Sorry, you haven't told anyone? Really?
Nah, like.
For real?
Like that. Like, homies knew. Right. Some people knew, but not like I just met you and I want to bond with you with that. At that time, I wasn't that open as open I am now. I picked and chose. Like, at that time, I think, like, I had girlfriends, but not girlfriends, because no one met Granny yet. I don't think no one was special enough to meet Granny. Like, I don't think no one was strong enough, mentally enough. Like, and I think you coming into my family and getting with my family, too, I feel like it was a treat. Because you just absorb a whole army that's with you. So, I don't think I was infatuated with her because of conversation. Like conversation, that ass too, but conversation, it was like everything, you know what I mean? It was a lot of stuff, man, but to talk to her all night, to want to talk to her and tell her things and take her places and protect her, and I'm taking her to San Bernardino, the most grimiest parts, introducing her to, like, my OGs that got shot with a shotgun in the back of the head. And they know I love her because I'm bringing her and introducing, like, OG, this is my girl.
Need more water, brother? Yeah. Do your thing, B. Yo, that's wild. Shot in the back of the head.
Yeah, Savant, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Hey, like, Lisa was like, he would tell Lisa, like, yeah, I got shot back in the head and survived it. And he loves me. This dude loves me so much. Oh, man, he was so lovable. He would save shoes for me and her. Like, oh, come up. I got these babes for you and your girl. You know?
Wow.
Like, make sure, like, someone, like, trying to, like, move around. They're like, yo, that's his girl. Like, because I'm showing, when a man show that much interest, even around his OGs, his boys, everyone know, okay, this is her. We protect her. Like, it's everything. So, I was taking her everywhere, man. She was visiting me in my trailers when I was doing the security.
Oh, this is. I thought it was much later. So you're talking about, like, this is
early in our. This is like, we've been together for 17 years. So this is like their first 2 years. Like, we've been together for 17. This is our first 2 years together of her visiting me in my trailers, like in Little Africa in San Bernardino, like, you know, bringing me Star Wars movies, then episode 1, 2, and 3. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm taking her places, and I'm helping my granny out. She's paying for studio time. She's showing me how I should look at certain shows, how I should act. You know, I'm a sweetheart, but my mannerism ain't all the way up there. So this is a woman that comes in, they go, hey, you know, I see a waitress pass by, like, hey, and she like, no, say excuse me. I go, excuse me, man, can I get one of them sliders? So it's like, I like that, because it reminded me of my granny. She ain't going to let me be out here looking like a fool. I'm okay being checked, like, especially for the better, even in public, checking me, letting me know. And my response should always be like a true king. Yes, queen, I shouldn't do that. I should do this. And I see my grandfather do that with my grandma. So I already have a view of how I want to treat her, like my grandfather did my grandmother. And I already see the sternness in her, like my grandmother. I already see, like, no one tells me no. I get everything I want. But this woman, you know, she tells me I get everything I want. I don't know. Maybe. Yes, I do. But she's the one like, no, you can't do this. You know, I can't have sweets right now. She's like, no, you can't have it. I'm like, all right, cool. Yes, ma'am. Like, that made me fall in love with her too. Like, that sternness. That made me go, she really cares about me. She's not trying to control me. She really cares about me. How I talk, how I act, how I need to present myself, because she know where I'm trying to go. So that's the beginning of me and her. You know, like, friendships too. Like, you know, we were friends, but I don't think we even kissed for the first year. I need a friendship. I need to like her more than love her. If I like her, I can hang out with her all day. She this is my road. This is me and my granny again. This is my road dog. This is, so I found that, like, on fucking Yahoo chat. So this is, this is my partner, and this is me beginning of my music road too. Like you say, I fell in love with this, and music, I'm falling in love with it, and she's there, go like, why don't you do this? Why don't you try this out? Why don't you try this? And I'm like, yeah. It's like, I'm really good at, I'm a chess champion, man. I play chess. I'm really good at chess. But it was like, she know I'm good at chess, so instead of changing my moves, my board was crooked. She just went. So now every move is right. The board was just not right. It was like this. All the pieces are still the same. And I'm making all these moves, but the moves ain't moving because not the correct moves. I'm making the correct moves, but the board isn't.
You're not seeing the right. You're not seeing it from the right. Yeah.
Because she's over me and she sees what I'm doing.
Seeing the perspective.
Yeah, it's her perspective now. Yeah. So she like, do this. Go this way. You know, it's like, oh, all right, this way is me understanding the king's place now, like these one pieces at a time, while she can move everywhere. So I get it now. Like, even in life, like, that's the same thing. So music and her became. This is like weird, man. This is like getting struck by lightning sometimes, like, right? You know what I mean? Like eaten by a shark. Or some shit, you know, you just seen a Lazarus animal come back, you know. A Lazarus animal is an animal that comes back from the dead that they thought was a stink. That's a Lazarus animal. So, you know, that's what I thought. But, I mean, her relationship became, I don't know, it was just rarity. Like, I saw my grandfather and my grandmother had this rare relationship. She was 6'1" black woman. He a 5'7" black man. He loved on her, hugged on her, danced on her. She was stern, playful, loving, bigger in life attitude, fiery, scary. Like, and he just loved it and adored it. And I think she had some of these qualities that I like, man, that's, you know, that's someone that's going to nurture in a way that, if you're not ready for it, you're going to push it away. You're going to be scared. You're going to be intimidated. With me, I'm like, man, I'm ready for anything in life. Like,
I've been through it. Yeah,
I've been through it. I want this. And, like, you know, time to hunt.
Let's go.
Let's go.
So, as you're going through this kind of path, I think this is the best way to kind of complete the final chapters here. You now build the brand, right? Of who I don't know if that's fair to say, not just who you are, but who you two are, and just who your whole life of just like your family and how much they contributed. I'm sorry I didn't really get to jump too much into friends.
Not too many.
I imagine.
Yeah, yeah. You know, always been. You know, I have a big pod now, but before it wasn't too many. Everyone mindset wasn't there, or you know, while I'm over here trying to find my life, my homies stripper dancing and buck dancing. Like, it's wild. It was wild. I had some wild homies that, you know, it's so I don't know. I was in and out of certain groups and stuff. Depends, like, how I can be of value to them, even how they can be valued to me sometimes.
Yeah, you want a win-win scenario.
Yeah, like, so it was one of those things, but...
Because it seems like you know the difference of how it could go wrong if you hang yourself
out. Oh, my God. That's the biggest, like, I never got in trouble because what I was doing is who I was hanging out with. Every time. Again, all the time, you know, so...
You learned that lesson quick.
Yeah, so, you know, I pick and choose what type of energies to be around.
So what's the brand? What's your identity? What are you trying to share to the world? I know you mentioned a lot music for you, specifically about. I know branding. I think obviously music is a part of that, but I think branding's a little bit different.
Yeah,
because you built like an iconic brand. It's really cool.
Mine was like man, like for real, like give love, support, give love, support how much as you can. Give how much as you can. Heal before you give. That was like part of my brand too. Like, it was a lot. Be selfless, and be selfish. Like it's like when I started running with this is my first branding. So my first project is in Blanca mode.
Okay.
Like then my second project was Sounds of a Monster. Right? Then my other project was A Beautiful Darkness, Lisa.
Yeah.
So that was an album. And in Blanca mode is me out the gate. Like I'm in Blanca mode. I'm in monster mode, but I was human. They turned me into this. Cause that's Blanca's story. They turned me into Blanca. But I still have this human side of me. Sounds of Monster was the same thing.
Blanca's, you mean from Street Fighter?
Street Fighter.
Yeah, okay.
So it was in Blanca mode. You know, he was a human first, and with all of this war, destruction, chaos, they turned him into. They really turned a Buddhist into Blanca. Like Blanca was a very peaceful, a man from India that was, you know, but they turned him to a monster. Second album, Sounds of a Monster. Same thing. Like I have this rage in me and I need to get it out because I don't want to be rapping like this all the time. I want peace. I want love. I want prosperity. I don't want to have to fight these demons all the time. Then my next album is Beautiful Darkness. Right? And this is me going big now. Like, I got merch, CDs. I'm kind of touring. I got Absol on the album. Like, I'm learning the music business. And it's me gaining diabetes. This is when I got diabetes. And my first video is showing people what I go through with diabetes. Checking my sugar, doing insulin, and showing this the thing that's hunting me that I want to get out, you know, like, and this is me reading about Rob Johnson selling his soul at the crossroad and all these different things and not want to do this and not want to sell my soul and want to be as authentic as possible. And I want love and I want all of this. That's Beautiful Darkness. And
you mean Rob Johnson, the blues player?
Yeah, the blues player.
Man,
you know what I mean?
I'm so excited.
So there's a lot of that, you know, and there's me going through Greek mythology, learning about Hades and learning about Poseidon and learning about how, you know, Uranus and Gaia had these kids that became Titans, and Kronos and their sister Rhea had all these other Olympian gods of Poseidon, you know, Zeus, and I'm breaking all of these down, and I'm learning about the gods of the dream, Morpheus, and I'm going through, man. I'm finding my space, and I don't know when it happened. I don't know when it happened, but I had these aliases like the intelligent, elegant elephant, right? I had all of these aliases, and people thought I chose them because of my size, but I chose them because of balance. Like, elephants have some of the best balance, but they're the biggest creatures in, land mammals. They're always in herds, and how the herd move is always a strategy. Children inside, women outside, and men outside protecting. That's the same way orcas move. So now I became the intelligent, elegant elephant. Then I started looking up orcas, and I started finding out, like, man, I'm more of an orca. Same thing, duality, black and white, yin and yang. Very, very vicious, very, very loving. And this is me coming up with the love monster. Like, after Beautiful Darkness, I become like, it's before I seen this, but to explain, I became Naruto when he went to the waterfall of truth, right? What do I do with my pain and my hate? My hate kept me safe. My pain kept me warm. It was there when no one was there. How do I just disappear on him? How do I just leave him and be like, I found all this love, I don't need you no more? After that album, I said, I have to hug him. I have to embrace all this darkness I went through. All of it. Even though I know how to maneuver through it, even though I know the wisdom to get through it, I wasn't accepting it at all. I had to accept it, that all of these things happened to me. All of it. Mental abuse, physical abuse. Uncles tried to do sexual abuse. All of these things. I had to embrace every nasty. Like, I had to love the ugly me. All the ugliness. And, man, when that happened, that light bulb hit. That at this time, I learned what epiphany is. Showing of God. But then we learned that epiphany is almost like, how I learned what epiphany is? I learned the birth of Dionysus. The birth of Dionysus is Zeus slept with a human. That's what he does. Zeus a whore. That's what he do. Zeus is a young whore.
Zeus is wild.
Zeus slept with a human. Hera knew this. So Hera know. If he told this woman that Zeus is a father, the woman's going to call for Zeus. Calling for Zeus is an epiphany, a showing of God. Humans cannot stand the power of the presence of a God. You will turn into ash when God shows himself. The only way you can survive is you're a demigod, right? So, Hera tells the girl Zeus is the baby's father. The girl calls for Zeus. Zeus like, damn, I gotta show up. He shows up. The lady turned to ash. She grabbed Dionysus out of her stomach and sews it into his thigh. Went back to this mountain and birthed Dionysus out of his thigh. So that's the last god of Olympus. That's the wine god. That's the god of ecstasy and the sirens and all of that, right? So the epiphany, in my mind, I said, when I had that epiphany, here go the nerd in me. I said, I must be a demigod because I survived it. I must be that powerful because I had this bright epiphany and it didn't burn me into ash. Actually, I got that glow. Like, I'm invited back to Olympus. I can go home because now I figured it out. Everything changed, bro. Like, my album titles changed. I got on Pay Dues, cover IE Weekly, I became IE Artist of the Year like 4 times in a row. I was in award for the Coyote Award like at San Bernardino. I was getting awards at UCR. I got every award in every paper in San Bernardino. I got Album of the Year. I was getting, like, bro, it was a flood when my mind changed. How I treated people, how I talked to people. how I moved different, how I presented my music, how I was given knowledge without trying to make people pay for it. Like, I was giving game, people trying to force me to sell. I was getting blackballed for certain people too because I was just trying to teach because I have all this knowledge now how to do stuff, how to do a tour, how to throw a show, I got on paid dues and learn how to throw a festival. Instead of me building with all the artists, I'm building with what's an artist runner? How do I get a stage like that? How do I get a permit? Who do I talk to do stuff like this? I started trying to teach that. Go on tour with Murs. Came back, taught people like this is how you tour.
So you're telling me like because now there's a brand that you're building, right?
Yeah.
But there's also like this huge music industry that really doesn't want.
Hell nah. Hell nah. They want you to teach nothing.
Really doesn't want you to build independence.
Yeah.
They want you to be.
Yeah.
They want you to step in line.
Step in line, work for the machine. Be a lug nut part of the machine. Not even a big part of the machine, a lug nut.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah. Like,
and you're carving this new world for yourself.
Yeah.
And you're doing it from this new found epiphany that you have, this kind of presence of God.
Give knowledge, give.
My love cup
has no hole in it now. My love cup, it's only full because of me. So now, before that epiphany, my love cup had a little hole in it.
Sure.
So me pouring in it is going down. Other people pouring it going down, but it's got a rapid rate where it's not like it's empty. That epiphany, that love cup now got no holes in it. And I don't pour from now the love I'm giving, I'm not pouring from my cup. I'm pouring from the saucer. Like now I'm pouring from that little saucer that holds that water. Now I'm pouring for that. Now when I'm pouring into people, it's the overflow. That's what I kind of like what I see when people say like that's what I'm seeing now. Cup got no holes in it. It's filled. I fill it up myself all the time. When I'm giving, it's the overflow of the love.
It's this peace, kind of love, happiness. You have this sense of grounding.
And it's consistent. I'm always pouring into myself. I pour into myself more than I pour into Lisa. Lisa got to pour in herself more than she pouring into me. So now what we pouring into each other is the extra.
It's the overflow.
It's an overflow. She's at 100. I'm at 100. Now at the overflow, we can get another cup and start pouring into another cup. Now we can get up to 200. So that's what it is now. Like, that was epiphany too. I have to give to myself. I can help. I can't help everybody.
Facts.
I didn't have to say it again. I have to give to myself over and over. I have to. That's me losing weight. That's me going on the road where they're like, no, I want to go. This is now like only person that's really be on the road with me is Lisa. They don't even count that as they count us as one.
Yeah.
Now. So it's one. You coming, Noah? Yes. I don't have to ask for that +2 or whatever. They just Lisa gets the same credentials as me as an artist. Everything. It's the same thing. So it's like I don't know. After having that epiphany, it was like, man, this is how I have to do it.
I imagine obviously Brick to Your Face comes much earlier than this, but like, is this where the kind of the Majestic type of world?
Nah, bro, we still even hit Majestic, bro. We after my diabetes, we started a thing called Building Blocks. That's 2008. After Building Blocks, around 2009, 2010, we started Common Ground. Right? Common Ground. We do Common Ground for 5 years. We start DIY Fest at the Glass House. Around this time, I'm touring national. I'm doing 2 months on the road, 60 shows in 2 months. Right? Common Ground is going. Dude. Common Ground for the first 3 years, Common Ground is every Sunday. Then it goes to every other Sunday because now I'm touring. Now we got a team, we got a staff, we got people that can be there. DIY is going at the Glass House. We doing big festivals now. Common Ground stops around 2000, 17. Cause now Murs is yelling at me and Curtis like y'all put enough work for your community. Go get it for yourself now. So now we're ROG like go get it for yourself. Go get it. You put your work in. You paid your dues. So I started doing that. Around 2019, here come Be Majestic. Cause now I understand branding. I already did it. I already did the work of people know it. The thing is, before me starting Be Majestic, I was saying the word majestic for 2 years straight. Like this is me learning about word association or word like magic. Like some people don't know that person know they're gonna do that magic trick on you that whole day. So since you woke up, they already been implanting certain words into your mind from you waking up. Like they already scouted you. So I know for people new. For branding, I like, all right, what you want to be? I say, I love the word majestic. I love that. I love magic. I love majestic views. I love being regal, royalty. Boom. Start rolling with Be Majestic. Very majestic. I love orcas. I get tagged in orca stuff every day and majestic stuff every day. So around 19, I started understanding the importance of branding and how to brand properly and how to, go, do our DBA or LLC and really try to really move this brand to where I want my brand in certain parts of my brand. I want it in Target.
Yeah.
I want it at Walmart. I want it at Journeys. I look into, I look who owns Journeys, who owns Tilly's, who own these little stores we can get into. So Be Majestic just became like, I did all of this work, like, say, 10 years prior. And then here comes, right before the world closed, here come Be Majestic, and
it's always the timing, right?
Yeah, it's always, and it just started, but it made sense where everything was just going right, but it's crazy. It all starts with that epiphany. After I dropped Beautiful Darkness, everything, after 3 projects, bro, I started understanding my music, how I want to create it. I was trying to learn how to pick my beats. I started doing breathing techniques. I just really start leveling up in this business, and caring about my weight, caring about my health, my mental health, how I'm treated people. I learned how to build with like real relationships, how to network in the most authentic way. Like it was a lot of things in that realm that I learned, you know what I mean? So it's I don't know. It was I don't know, after Beautiful Darkness on everything, like I know how to get features, you know what I mean? I learned how to book bigger artists cuz my mind just expanded. Like everything just expanded and yeah, man.
That's dope.
Yeah, you got me thinking about a lot of stuff.
That was the goal, yeah.
It's a lot of shit.
Looking back at your life, how do you feel about yourself in your past? You have I mean, listen, man, this page is filled. Like I can't even try to put respect on it,
man.
But bouncing from home to home, trying to find your space for you and your brother, trying to find yourself within that space as well, having the guiding light of your grandmother to be there, but also this kind of like consistent fatherhood from your grandfather as well. Grandfather's not around.
Yeah.
Mother is really trying to figure out herself, and she's trying to go through it as well. You're finding out not only that you got to survive, and you have this anger, you have this, this kind of like, not I want to say destructiveness, but you have this power.
It's destructive.
Okay.
It was very destructive.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have this feeling, you have this ability, you have this power, and you can really put some damage. And there's a few times it almost could have been,
but your lights out.
But your grandmother, you felt like it it was something keeping you to keep going down this path, keep trying to get studied. You start understanding the system better. You're understanding hey, why I'm valuable, so I can use my value to get me a counselor, to get me some of the things I need, to get me the not only just like to get resources, but to get me the tools I need to prepare myself for a better future for myself. You start using those things that you're gaining to not only like, you know, go through football, do really well at that. Obviously you get injured, but you're not letting that stop you. Continue try to learn, continue try to get your stuff through school. Also I think is really cool as well. You start building this better relationship, not only with, you know, Lisa, but start building a better relationship with your mother, going out with her more often, experiencing the world with her a little bit more, traveling a little bit more, going to Florida. Seems like you go and you know, you get to see these places, get to understand a little bit of things. You mentioned now that you fell in love, you got this love of music. Unfortunately, your grandfather passes, so there's this hole that's there in that cup, and so you're trying to figure out how to fill it. And now you have this anger, and you finally find a way to plug the cup while going through your music journey. And of course, you know, devil's try to find its way. Diabetes comes, but you know, you're not letting it stop you. You continue progressing, like you continue fighting. You're like, no, I'm not giving up.
Nope.
You continue pushing forward.
Dragon Ball Z.
It's like you're like, it's gonna keep building you, getting stronger, using every single. You talking about the system you're using to help better you. You talk about anime you're helping use yourself better. Merlin is a big aspect to you. You got King Archer. You got like you're talking about.
It's a lot, bro.
Dude, you got so much.
Ash Ketchum, man, he was a Ronin. Like, Ash taught me that you have to practice outside to find a master that might really want to help you. That's what Ash taught me. Like, Pokemon.
Like, we're talking, you're not taking anything for face value. Looking at this past, like, is there anything you would change? Is there regrets? Is there and also I would like to just sneak in there. Is there anyone we're forgetting?
You know what's crazy? Say around my mama's getting out of jail in the 2000s. My brother like in high school. My brother in high school. I'm out of high school. I know that my mama had a daughter in prison, and they took the baby away from her. So around mid 2000, like 2014 or something, we found my sister on Facebook, right? That's one crazy thing. And find out like she had a really, really good life. She got adopted by a judge that was in politics, but this is the crazy part. She was still doing bad in life because of her choices. You know why? For some odd reason, she wasn't raised by my mama, but she act just like her. And I'm talking about all the bad parts. Like, crazy. Like, you know, she kind of blamed my mom, like, you gave up on me. And my mom like, I had you in jail. They took you. There's nothing I can do. You know, Jamie and Jonathan, they was living, you know, good. I'm like, girl, you have no fucking clue. You were over here looking for love that we did not have. And you had it right there. And I understand it's your mama. But your mama, I know you had all the info. Your mama lost a baby in jail and ended up getting pregnant in jail and having a baby. She didn't get pregnant on purpose, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I have that in my life that even now I have to deal with as a big kahuna, where I kind of have to have this love, unconditional love for my little sister, but at the same time, I don't understand where her hate is coming from, because it's not directed. It's directed at my mom, but she don't deserve it.
Right.
You know, so what else happened to you that got you like this? And you're exactly like the teenage version of my mom, the early, like, my grandma, like, oh my gosh. So it was like, I have that my little sister right there.
Is that? I know one person you forgot, but is that like a regret for you in a way, or
That's a I know it's big on my heart because I don't know how to grab her.
Sure, yeah.
I don't know how to hold her. I can, with all my wisdom, I can tell her our whole life story. And she won't bat an eye at it because it's not pertaining to her. So it's a lot of, like her cup is the hole in her cup. But I'm like, man, are you hearing what happened? I'm looking at you like, do you hear what happened?
Yeah.
Like, you sure you want to be a part of this? I would have been like, you want to suffer with us.
Misery loves company. Yeah.
Like, man, and that was scary. Like, when and this is my own blood too. But then I realized there's a lot of people like that. I didn't know that. A lot of people would rather suffer to the people they think they belong to. And I'm like, hell no. Like, no. Like, I love myself too much for that, even though it is my family. Like, I never went and looked for my dad. My dad's somewhere in Haiti. I think my dad dead now. Like, he old. My mom was in her teens when she had me. My dad was already 60. He was 60 and 84. That nigga gone. He in the dirt. Like, I can't even be like, oh, my pop. Like, nah, I don't even have that feeling. I told myself if I ever meet him, I don't even have this anger towards him. Because something really went bad in his life, too. So it's like, I don't know, she don't have grace. I think a lot of the young people in my family don't give a lot of the elders grace. Because they just don't seek. They seek to be understood, but they don't want to understand. And that's where it comes
It's dangerous.
in. And yes, it kind of fucked us sometimes. We got to be the bigger person, but we have the most access to knowledge.
Facts. Yeah, dude. Jesus. Yeah.
They might have the most wisdom,
For real.
but they didn't have the most access to knowledge to get more wisdom. We can have their wisdom and extra, because now we have access. Our tools are better. While they were chipping this rock, trying to get over this mountain, we like, oh, we about to bulldoze this motherfucker. It's different. So it's like, it's not even being a bigger person. Sometimes it's like, grace is beautiful. Grace is so beautiful. Like, to the right people, it will be water to them. And people that don't dislike you, it will be fire to them. So it's like, grace is like, oh yeah, I have this, like. But that's one person I always try to bring up in my story, to where it was such it was this little girl part of our family, and we found her on Facebook, and man, she looked just like my mama, act like my mama, looked like me, and I'm like, sis. Crazy thing is, at the time she was living in Riverside, so she knew who Noah James was, but didn't know that I was her brother. So we started figuring out all of these things. Like, she's like, yeah, I have homies that wanted to rap with you and didn't know, and they always said your name. And find out that my big brother is this artist that, I hear his name and people saying all these good things about, and it's crazy, bro. Like, that's just something. I don't know. I always try to bring that up because it was like crazy time amongst everything. I thought the Lord already had, like, yo, I don't give you no more crazy stuff. Your book is too already wild. You know what? Facebook, Facebook, your sister.
Book, yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
I think that's about it. Like my granny Willie Dell, my I call him my grandfather. My grandfather Breeza Allen, and I got Grandpa Gustine Cobb, cause he wasn't like that grandfather. He was like, he took me to he took me to wild places, man. Like, he was a loan shark, so I was always rolling with him. I did plays with him. When I say plays, I ain't talking about like Romeo and Juliet and Hamilton and stuff. So it's like,
oh man,
I met O.J. Simpson with him and like Marcus Allen. Like he lived in this he was in Black Hollywood a lot, so I hung out with him because it was fun. Like we just talking about that. I hung out with him because my grandpa was fun. Took me to the circus, knowing that I hated clowns, but knew I loved elephants, and he would protect me from the clowns. Like he don't like them. Like so, like he was still protecting me. Like, and I tell this one story about my grandfather. I always show this is who he is. I'm going on tour with Murs. I said, Grandpa, I need some money. Grandpa, he said, what you about to do? I said, I'm about to tour the United States. He's like, boy, you ain't about to tour no whole goddamn United States. I said, the whole United States, Grandpa? I said, I'm doing 60 shows in 2 months. He said, that's impossible, right? This is no mindset. I said, I'm doing a show in Jacksonville. He said, you ain't doing no goddamn show in Jacksonville. I'm like, all right now. So we do the tour. Jacksonville like the 10th date. We get to Jacksonville. I want to introduce Lisa to my great grandma before my grandma passed, because she like, I'm going next year. This is how my grandma feels. She said, next year birthday, I'm out of here. And that's what she did. Next year, she was out. She was done. Grandma gone. Grandma was like, she met the love of my life. We gave her a picture. The picture's still up there from the Pacific Aquarium in Long Beach. It was a picture we got. And she met Lisa. I met all my aunties. My grandma calls my grandfather. No, my auntie May Helen calls my grandfather like, Jamie here. He like, Jamie ain't there. He ain't talking about. He's like, no, he's here. He on tour. He just did a show at the Jackrabbit, you know. But grandpa, he said, give him the phone. Yeah, grandpa. He said, listen, go to the bank tomorrow. I'm going to send you some money. Right? I think he sent me like $700 or something, right? I mean, we didn't need it, but we wanted it. Yeah. So, but like, he's that person, like, show and prove. After that tour.
Show and prove.
After that tour, people's in Victorville like, hey, do your grandpa drive the Chrysler 300 that look like a Bentley? I was like, yeah. Two-tone, yeah. He had overalls with your merch on? I said, yeah. He said, man, he's so proud of you. Like, he had the gas station. People, like, see the Noah James shirt or something like that. And
marketing.
This is the new relationship with my grandpa. We performed that. I said, House of Blues. He said, top floor, bottom floor. I said, bottom floor. He said, oh. He was like, okay. Like, now he's interested of everywhere I'm performing, how well is merch selling. My granny's making sure the quality of merch is on point because she don't want me to sell nothing bad. The price point is not too expensive. Like, my grandfather and my grandmother, my grandfather that's not married, but they was married to make my mama, are now like my biggest fans. And my grandfather, rest in peace, my grandfather, because I came off tour and he just had lung cancer. And so when I opened the door, man, I never seen a smile on his face that big. Like, just proud. Like, it was the dopest thing. Like, asking me all these questions, what I'm doing, how I'm going, how it's selling, who I'm performing with, where I performed at. Like, but I always try to give him his flowers. When I was young, I didn't give him the flowers. I thought he was an asshole. The older I get, I'm like, man, he didn't know how to show love. But showing money, that's how you giving money, that's to show love. Showing interest, that's how you show love. Buying my merchandise, taking me to places, you know, that's how you show love. Like, if I ever need a lawyer, he's there. Like, real talk. Like, even though they didn't know how to show love, if I ever needed them, they was there. They never forsake me for nothing. You know, because I never was that kid. Like, you never loved me. I knew they loved me. It just, I figured out how they love me instead of thinking like they don't. Or I didn't know my love language. To this day, I still don't know how I like to be loved. Like, I just, you know, I just love love. You might give it to me. My mom is still selfish as hell. But if I ever need her, she's there. If I ever want to talk to her, she's there. She need me more than I need her, as the knowledge and the wisdom I got from my granny. So it's like, I don't know, man. I think the older I got, my relationship changed with them. Like, you know, I always want to give my grandpa that shout out, you know, like, He was that dude. I always try to tell that story because that was like, oh man, this is the change.
That's huge.
That's my nigga.
So then, my final question.
Yeah.
What's the dream, man? Like you have seen your life and you just kind of reviewed it. What's the dream? What's the goals? Like, what do you want out of life? Like, what's the? I don't want to predict the future. I'm never so much like that, but
Man,
I am like.
it's a lot, man. I'm trying to get to 250 pounds. That's one dream that I'm gonna get to. I want to own venues, at least 2 venues. I want to own at least a performance center for young artists, like a studio, like teach like arts in a way, and not in a super conventional educated way to where it really hands on. Like, you know, I'm doing performance classes now. So if you get performance classes from me, it comes with a show at the end of all this teaching. You know, so it's like I'm doing stuff like that. So on a venue, man, I want it's a lot, man. I want a Grammy and come back and throw a show in the IE and sit in my corner. Like, I want to throw a show at the Quake, Route 66. I want to do something with Bakers. I'm talking like it's a lot of dreams. It's crazy where people are like, man, what would you? I'm like, man, that's still a lot of things I want to do. I'm trying to perform at the Pacific Aquarium. I want to perform at San Diego Zoo. I want to perform on a cruise ship. Like, you know, I want to do how Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin and Rat Pack did their nights in Vegas. I want to do a night like that at the casinos we have around here in the IE. I want to learn magic, like 10 tricks. You know what I mean? Like, what else? It's a lot. I want to learn how to throw a boomerang. Like, I want to go cosplaying at least 3 times at one of these anime conventions. Like, I want to go ATVing with Lisa. You know, I want Lisa to learn how to swim so we can get on Sea-Doos. It's a lot of stuff, man. It's a lot. I think it's a lot of life to live now because now I can think past all my traumas. I don't think about my only thing that weighs my heart now is missing my granny. That's like the biggest thing on my heart and I thank God it happened the way it did because COVID happened and she passed. If COVID didn't happen and she passed, most likely I would have been on the road and she would have passed while I wasn't home. And I would probably I'll probably stop music for a whole year if that would have happened, knowing me. Like, I would have been broken. So it's like the only thing that really I'm like is baggage with me. I wouldn't say baggage is now the new grieving and losing weight. Like, everything else is like super dream mode, man. Like, more tours. I want to start a record label where I can sign artists and help them with merchandise, and it's a lot. I'm trying to live for a long time, so it's a lot I still want to do. You know what I mean? It's you know, it's what else dream, man? What else I want to go, man? Like places I want to go, things I want to do. I want to overcome my fear of clowns. I don't know if that's gonna happen, but it might.
Love it, man. You mind dropping the mic for just real quick?
Oh yeah, my bad. Yeah. Oh, there you go, right there.
So I'm gonna have
that's a lot of stuff on that paper, man.
Dude, hey man, I love. Hey, I'm. This is I have a lot of stuff to go through, man. So one of the things we like to do, we kind of went through the life story for you.
Yeah.
We have some questions we like to do.
Or
some deep questions that we have. They're at random, so we don't.
All right, yeah, let's go.
But yeah, if you're okay with just kind of jumping into that segment, I don't know if you need a second.
Let's jump into it.
Let's get it. Okay. So that's the
hey.
final part. There are no specific order, but I'm curious. So the first question, what is something you would never give up?
Something that I would never give up. Like, do I want surface level or something deep? That I would never give up something deep. It's something deep. I'm not even going to touch that. I would never give up barbecue.
Ooh. Yo.
I would never ever give up barbecue. Never ever. And nah, she laughing because she know. Never ever. I would never ever give up barbecue food. I love it too much.
I respect that. So good.
And wings.
Dang, I kind of already asked you this question, but I'm going to ask it again. Describe one experience you wish you'll have in the future.
I wish I have in the future. I'm performing at the San Diego Zoo. And right when I do, keep that shitty energy happens. A lion roars.
And an orca just hops out.
Nah, just something so majestic. Just like, I don't know, like I have these epiphanies or these dreams when I'm sleeping. These things happen. Like that's one thing, you know. Like that's magic. Or performing at Disneyland. You know, like performing at Disneyland with. I'm trying to remake like Disney song, like "Friend and Me." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And a more like lo-fi hip hop version of it. So it's like, yeah, like Disneyland, like that's majestic. Like me performing at a museum, I never thought that would happen, but I performed at a real legit Palm Spring Art Museum where it's all these old people drinking wine and they up dancing to my music. What? You telling me I got kids from 16 to 67, 74? Yeah, man. Is anywhere unorthodox performing my music. That's the view I see.
If you were a superhero, what would be your name and 3 superpowers?
Of course it'd be Orca Man. Orca Man be, I have sonar.
Ooh.
That can heal you or destroy you, depending what frequency I'm in. What's another one? I can go through dimensions through the water, like Doctor Strange. Like I'm on that. A little bit of Kang, like I can go through different dimension, Earth's planet, and What's another one?
Silver Surfer over here.
Yeah, straight up. I'm out here like an internal. Then what? Last one. That last one. I can eat all the sweets I want and nothing happened to me.
Hey.
Nothing. I don't gain weight. I don't get diabetes. I don't go to sleep. I don't get itis. I'm like Superman. You know what I mean? Metabolism is on 1,000,000 trillion. You know what I mean? Like he just out here. And
yo, I love it.
Yeah, those 3 right there. I'm out here.
I have 2 more. I'm trying to figure out which one would be the best to leave for last. I think I got one. Oh, actually, I think I got one. Okay, so what do you consider are your 3 greatest mistakes?
Eating them 60 wings at KFC. Because that for sure gave me diabetes that day. Selling weed to the cheerleader at Cajon High School because she told on me. And that was like the trifecta of me going to juvie and everything. Something told me, don't sell to her, man. Something told me, listen, she gonna tell on you. And she did. She did. I regret that. Sometimes I wake up in my dream like, damn, I should never sold to her ass. It's like that's like 20-something years ago. I'd be like, God damn, because it was like one of those things like I was smarter than that. I usually go with my gut, and that time I didn't, and that happened. And what's the last one? This one hurt me because my grandmother was very active. There was a point in time when she had to get in a wheelchair. You know what I mean? And one time I wanted to go somewhere with her, and she, like, her knees was hurting. And then she was kind of being mean to me. And I was like, you never walk anywhere. You don't never go with me walking. And, your legs ain't working, not knowing how much she felt bad. And I always regretted that. Like, knowing that if she could, she would. And sometimes I regret. That was the first and last time I ever talked to her like that. Because I never want to make my grandma feel bad. Because if she could, like I said, she would. And me saying that, that moment taught me when someone feeling bad already, make a mistake, or they can't do nothing, don't add to it. Yeah, that's probably the last one.
Okay. And my last question.
Yeah.
It's pretty deep. What is your greatest fear about getting older?
Ooh, my greatest fear about getting older. My legs not working. That's about it. My legs not working. Legs and back. I got a lot of football injuries, knee injuries. I did sumo for a year. Like, I wear a tear on my body I did early in my life. So my fear is always not being able to walk or move or do for myself. I used to think about Alzheimer's, but I don't think I'm going to get it. Like, I smoke too much. I do too much, like, psilocybin and shrooms and stuff. I think my mind will be good. But, yeah, that's my biggest fear.
The body.
Mr.
Noah James, I really appreciated this interview. I think I learned a lot. Specifically, I think one of the things I took the most of is perseverance.
Yeah, that's my
100%. I've seen someone go from their story like yours, and to be able to continue persevering. Actually, I wouldn't even want to use that word. If I could swap the word, I think it's thriving, striving and thriving. Like you just continue striving for something better, and you're achieving it. I think it's really cool. Now everyone has, that kryptonite, but it's awesome to see that you're not letting it stop you, and you continue working on your craft, and you continue working on the areas that you see yourself needing to grow, and you're sharing that journey with people. Like, so many people don't really share it, and you're so open and so honest and so transparent. And man, that's a blessing,
Yeah, man. Dragon Ball Z, man. I think when I got out of juvie and I started watching Dragon Ball Z, I said, damn. So every time I hurt, I get stronger. Every time I get put down, I get stronger. I just like that mindset of not being beat. And, the L's come with an extra cheese, right? Because there's a lot of lessons in there. And when it comes a lot of lessons, there's a lot of extra stuff you're going to learn. So, yeah, I just push. Keep pushing. Find love. Pinpoint love. Even if your proximity is hate, chaos, be the love in that ecosystem. That's what I tell myself. Be the love in it. Don't let anything affect me negative in my proximity. I affect everything.
Right.
So that was my whole mindset. Like, and what makes it easier if I help people along the way too.
Full stop.
Like, always. Like, if I help, be helpful. That's it. Be helpful, man.
We have a painting.
Yeah.
That you chose.
Yeah.
We had a lot of good options.
Yeah.
But I think this was made by my mom.
Oh. She wants Dragon Ball Z because that's all I saw was Dragon Ball. That's it.
I think low-key my mom might.
Yeah, I like that. It's vibrant. The yellow, the orange. Then out of nowhere, you got the blue and the purple that's a little darker. You know what I mean? Showing, like, amongst all this darkness, you're going to have
one of the things that stood out to me, one of the things you mentioned, and I don't know if you see this as well, but you mentioned paying him his flowers.
Yeah.
To your grandfather.
Yeah.
You have such. I mean, in your music, in your identity, your grandmother gets a lot of praise.
Oh yeah.
But I think it's kind of cool that this is flowers. And you wanted to pay it to him in terms of some.
He gets a little bit, you know what I mean? Like he did what he can. You're not Granny though, but I have to make sure to let them know you ain't Granny.
Sure.
I know Granny will step in front of a bullet. She has to step in front of dogs. She knew I hated dogs. And let the dog bite her. Then she punched it. That's how I know this is my dog. Shout out to all the grandmothers and the grandsons and the granddaughters that just you run with them, go run errands with them. I'm telling you, running errands with your grandparents become an adventure that you would never ever thought you would be on.
It's huge.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts? Any final things? Anything you like?
Get therapy, everybody. Get therapy. Test out the list. You listen to a person. You wouldn't even thought I went through therapy at that, but get therapy because it helps you navigate. It's not going to solve the problem. It's just going to help you navigate to where you want to be.
Right.
And you going in the outside world using these problem-solving new techniques, or the new techniques is really what's going to help you. So I say therapy, man. Like, really, that's, and if you can't do therapy, do some shrooms. Do some psilocybin.
How can people find you, man? How can people connect with you?
NoahJames.net, NoahJames.net. I love my website. I got everything up there. You can from there you can find all my social media, everything. But yeah, NoahJames.net, NoahJames.net. And if you look up Noah in Hebrew means movement.
Ooh.
Look it up. It's a unisex name.
I wish everyone could really connect with him. You will not be disappointed. Thank you so much for joining us today. I learned a lot. I think this was really cool and impactful. I'm excited to be able to share your story, and I imagine we didn't give it enough justice, but I hope that to whoever listens to this can recognize the story of a man who accomplished a lot and has so much more to accomplish as well. Thank you for everyone for joining, man. To all, peace, love, and happiness, even after death. And thank you for subscribe, comment, like, share, do the thing.
Notifications.
Hit the bell. Yo, I don't know what else to do, but
follow the hashtag.
It's a good night, guys. Peace.
That was good.
Good. My man.